Wow!
On the 8th of September 1966, Gene Roddenberry's galaxy-spanning Star Trek saga debuted on ABC and helped transform sci-fi television from tired stereotypes into a genre rich with multi-layered drama, ethnically diverse characters, and real-world issues. While it wasn't a big hit at the time, Star Trek eventually developed a loyal following that continued through an animated series, the long-running film franchise, and other live-action television series from the late 1980s onward. The show sometimes hired iconic sci-fi writers, including Richard Matheson, Robert Bloch, Theodore Sturgeon, and Harlan Ellison, who won a Hugo Award for his episode City on the Edge of Forever, while Isaac Asimov developed a friendship with Roddenberry. To commemorate this momentous occasion, let's look back at the groundbreaking series, during which the crew of the Enterprise journeyed on far-flung peacekeeping and rescue missions, answered distress calls on distant planets, and faced confrontations with warmongering aliens. There has been plenty written about this iconic show, but there always seems to be something new to learn. Captain Pike preceded Captain Kirk. The unaired pilot The Cage, which finally debuted on home video in 1986, featured an almost entirely different cast and crew, with Mr. Spock being the lone holdover on the bridge when the classic team appeared in the first official episode. Jeffrey Hunter, The Searchers, starred as Captain Christopher Pike, who gets abducted by telepathic aliens for psychological experiments involving a human woman. The original pilot was actually pretty good, but the cast lacked the same warmth and diversity that would ultimately emerge. When the studio rejected the original pilot, allegedly for being too cerebral and lacking in action, creator Gene Roddenberry sought to make another, but Hunter chose to move on to other projects. In the end, it was good that NBC rejected the original pilot, because the show was revamped into something much stronger. Pike returned for 2 episodes and the movie reboot. Several episodes in, the producers of Star Trek created a 2-part episode called The Menagerie that utilized much of the original pilot. Mr. Spock was taking a now battle-scarred and disfigured Captain Pike back to the planet Talos IV, which was off-limits to Federation vessels, for unknown reasons, and he would not reveal why until he seized control of the Enterprise and faced a court-martial. It was a clever and cost-effective way to reuse the unaired material and craft a new storyline. In J.J. Abrams' 2009 movie reboot, writers Roberto Orci and Alex Kurtzman brought back Pike, played by Bruce Greenwood, as Kirk's superior officer and mentor on his first mission in space. It was a nice nod to the original series. The original number 1 was a woman. In the original pilot, Gene Roddenberry's girlfriend and future wife, Majel Barrett, was Kirk's first officer, who still had to deal with the captain's presumptions about women on the bridge. Test audiences allegedly did not like her character because they thought she was too pushy and tried to be like the men, but modern audiences would not think of any of those things. When Pike was kidnapped, she led a mission to the planet to rescue him and proved herself to be a capable leader. But this was about a year before the women's liberation movement began gestating in America. The Star Trek universe finally got its first female captain with Captain Kathryn Janeway in Star Trek Voyager, which aired between 1995 and 2001. Majel Barrett Roddenberry returned in many episodes of the original series to play Nurse Kristen Chappell, who had unrequited romantic feelings towards Mr. Spock. She played a more nurturing character, but did not have the command duties of her original role. Following that, Barrett Roddenberry, who has been called the First Lady of Star Trek, had roles in every Star Trek series, playing Nurse Chapel, Lieutenant Ambrose, and other characters on Star Trek the Animated Series, Lwaxana Troi, and the voice of the Enterprise computer on Star Trek The Next Generation, and the computer voices on Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise. She also appeared as Dr. Chapel in Star Trek The Motion Picture and as Commander Chapel in Star Trek IV The Voyage Home, and she provided voice work to other films, including the 2009 reboot, and various video games. After her husband died in 1991, Barrett Roddenberry served as executive producer on two series he had created, Earth Final Conflict 1997–1999 and Andromeda 2000–2005. She passed away in 2008, but not before recording, you guessed it, the Starfleet computer voice for J.J. Abrams' 2009 movie reboot. Kirk had a dark past before Star Trek. Prior to venturing into space and encountering all sorts of intergalactic nemesis like the Romulans, Klingons and the superhuman Khan, William Shatner appeared in a variety of dark film and television projects. In Roger Corman's underrated film The Intruder, he played a racist agitator in a southern town who pushes things too far. In Incubus, a film shot entirely in the Esperanto language, he played a good-hearted man with whom a succubus falls in love, injuring her sister and setting about retribution. And that's all for now. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and share this video with friends. Take care!